So Hawaii public schools used to teach a version of abstinence education called Try-Wait. And 5 years ago, they switched over to a more liberal curriculum. So today, we learned how that new curriculum worked out. Raw Story reports, quote, "The teen pregnancy and abortion rates have plummeted." Who didn't see that coming? The number of terminated pregnancies dropped nearly 30% between 2010 and 2014, the largest decline in the nation, and the state's historically high teen pregnancy rate fell during the same period. Since 2013, Hawaii has allowed girls as young as 14 to access emergency contraception without parental consent. So, given this massive success story, Hawaii's Board of Ed recently moved to require parental consent for student participation in sex ed programs, and health advocates are concerned that the trends could reverse. So they make all these gains because they started using their brains and they did the more liberal approach. And then they're like, we should change this. Look at the stats, look at the numbers, look at the facts. See, this is, I think, one of the things that frustrates liberals and progressives and Democrats so much is that even by the standards of the right-wingers themselves, this is a tremendous success. Because what do they tell us? They say, all we want to do, we need to limit the number of abortions. As few abortions as possible. Limit that, limit STD transfers, limit unwanted pregnancies. This is what we want to do. This is what our focus is. And their solution to it is abstinence. Teach something about Jesus and abstinence. Okay, well, just keep your eye on the finish line here. Just keep your eye on the goal, the policy specifics that you want to achieve. If you really care about those things, we can achieve those things if you just listen to us and if you just do the policies that we've advocated for. The Jesus/don't fuck policy doesn't work. It doesn't work. States that have curriculums more in line with that, like Mississippi, for example, highest STD rates in the nation, higher unwanted pregnancy rate, higher abortion rate across the board. It's just not as good. And where you implement liberal policies, everybody's happier. There's a great article my brother-in-law sent to me a few years ago where it's basically somebody who was in the pro-life movement and really believed in it to her core, saying, yeah, I flipped, and now I'm pro-choice. And then she goes on to explain the reason why she flipped is all of the goals that the pro-life people want to achieve, the pro-choice people actually get to. Because the pro-choice people, what do they call for? Let's have Planned Parenthood clinics. Let's increase access to condoms, to the pill. Let's have sex education programs. Let's do comprehensive sex education. And when you do all that, there's a drop in all the things that the right-wingers hate. STDs, unwanted pregnancies, abortions, you name it. There's a drop in it. So the debate is over, son, and this is why the media gets under my skin. Because if the media really only gave a shit about the facts and cared about truth-telling, they would have to come out there and say, the liberals on this issue are right. They are right. Here are the results. Here are the numbers. Here are the facts. It doesn't matter if you disagree with them. It is mathematics. You cannot disagree with it. If the media was being honest, they do that, but they're not being honest because they have to play the 50-50 game no matter what. They rarely talk about these kinds of issues, but when they do, it's always, well, Republicans want to do abstinence and Democrats don't want to do abstinence. But tell us the results. Tell us who's right. Tell us what works. And if you look at what works, the liberals win all day long, even by the standards that the Republicans set up themselves. So it's sad, it's unfortunate, but Hawaii tried a liberal curriculum, it worked, and now they're like, let's move away from it. We don't like this whole working thing.